Dear students, let us discuss the concept of assessable value for the purpose of computation of customs duty now. We know that custom duty is nothing but the indirect tax which is levied by the central government on the goods imported and exported, and this custom duty is calculated based on the assessable value of the goods imported or exported. So how to calculate this assessable value? Rule 10 of the Customs Valuation Rule 2017 provides for various additions and deductions to be made to the price actually paid or payable for the imported goods to arrive at the transaction value, which is nothing but the assessable value. That means the price payable for the goods imported may be different, whereas such price may not be the assessable value for the purpose of computation of customs duty. We have to add certain additional expenses to such assessable to arrive at such assessable value. Let us discuss the various inclusions now. The first one is that commission and brokerage. If the importer pays any amount in the name of commission and brokerage to the exporter or to the agent of the exporter, then such commission is to be included in the assessable value. But we have to remember one point, that such commission is not including the buying commission. So what is buying commission? It is very simple. Buying commission means commission which is paid to the agent of the importer. The second one is that cost of containers. When the goods are imported from a foreign country, it may be carried in a large container, and the cost of such containers may be demanded by the exporter. In such cases, such cost of containers should be included in the assessable value. But if such containers are returned within 6 months, then it is not included in the assessable value. The third point to be added is that cost of packing. When the goods are transported to a distant place, it needs major, primary or secondary packing. Such cost of packing, it may be the cost of labor or the cost of materials used in packing the goods, should be included in the assessable value. The fourth one is that value of goods and services supplied by the buyer free of cost. In certain cases, the importer himself may supply the materials to the exporter, and he may ask the exporter by using those materials to manufacture the goods and sell it back to the importer. In such cases, the cost of such materials which are supplied by the importer free of cost or at concessional rate should be included in the assessable value. The materials includes components, spare parts or tools, dies, molds or consumables, or engineering work, development, artwork or design work or sketches undertaken by the buyer which is necessary for the production of imported goods is includable. But we should understand that if design work or engineering work or artwork is undertaken in India is not included. If it is to be added, only if it is undertaken outside India. The next point to be includable in the assessable value is the cost of the amount which is paid for the royalties and license fees, such as patents, trademarks or copyrights. But if royalty is paid for the right to reproduce the goods in India or to right to distribute or resell the imported goods in India, then such royalty is not includable in the assessable value. Next point is that if any part of the proceeds of subsequent resale is payable to the exporter by the importer, then such value is also included in the assessable value. Next is about cost of transport. When the goods are transported from exporting country to importing country, such cost of transport is included in the assessable value. If the goods are imported by air, then actual transportation charges or 20% of FOB price, whichever is less, is taken as a cost of freight or transportation. But if the goods are transported through any other means like land or by sea, in such cases actual transportation cost is includable. But if actual transportation or freight is not given in the problem, then we have to take randomly 20% of FOB value as the cost of transport. We should remember here is that the cost of transport is to be included only if it is incurred until the goods reaches our country. Next one is about any other payment which is made by the buyer to the seller or to a third party in connection with the sale or the goods imported from a foreign country. And the last point is insurance charges. When the goods are transported, it very much requires insurance to cover against risk. In such cases, such insurance charges paid by the importer on the goods imported by him is to be included. If such insurance cost is not given in the problem, then we have to take 1.125% of FOB value of the goods. Let us see what is this FOB value at the end of this video. So all these are about the items to be included in the assessable value while computing for the purpose of customs duty. Next is about exclusions, that means the items to be deducted while calculating the assessable value. First one is about charges of construction, assembly or erection of plant and machinery or equipment at the place of importer. For example, if you purchase the goods from Germany and that you are purchasing some machinery from Germany and that machinery is imported and you are installing it in your factory in Udupi, in such cases, installation charges which is paid by you to the exporter for installing such machinery in Udupi is not included in the assessable value. And similarly, if any cost of transport after importation of goods is not included in assessable value. Similarly, any duties and taxes which is paid in India is not a part of assessable value. Any other payment payable by the buyer to the seller which is not at all connected with the goods imported by you, in such cases it is not included in the assessable value. In the same way, interest on deferred payment, if it is shown separately in the invoice, or dividends or any other payments from the buyers to the seller that do not relate to the imported goods is not included in the assessable value. In simple words, we can understand that whatever expenses which are incurred after the goods reaches our country is not included in assessable value. And similarly, expenses which is not connected with the goods imported by the importer is not included in the assessable value. After considering all these additions and includable and excludable items, we can go through the format of computation of assessable value. Here I have given the format of computation of assessable value. We have taken two columns, foreign currency and Indian currency. Since we are purchasing from foreign country, we pay the consideration in foreign currency and it needed to be converted into Indian currency because custom duty is payable in India. So in the beginning, we take a purchase price, means the price what the importer is paying to the exporter. To this we have to add whatever extra payments made by the importer like packing charges, commission, design, royalty, materials of freight or whatever items we have discussed till now. So after adding this, the amount what we are getting is to be called as free on board price or FOB price. After getting the FOB price, next we add two important items. One is freight, another one is insurance. As discussed earlier, freight is taken either 20% of FOB price or actual, whichever is less when it is imported by air, or if it is imported through land or any other means of transportation, then we have to take the actual. If it is not, actual amount is not given, then we have to take a 20% of FOB price. And the last is about insurance charges. If it is given, take that amount. If it is not given in the problem, then you take 1.125% of the FOB price. After adding all these two items, the figure what we get is called assessable value, and custom duty is payable on this assessable value at prescribed rate. So all this about the various items to be included and excluded from assessable value for the purpose of customs duty. Let us work out some problems in the next video. Thank you.